Introduction. Significance of Aisha in Islamic history. Aisha, the wife of Prophet Muhammad, holds a significant role in Islamic history. She was a beloved wife of the Prophet and a teacher, scholar, and leader in early Islamic society. Her contributions to Islamic law and jurisprudence, literature and poetry, and military expeditions during the early Islamic period cannot be overlooked. Aisha's role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history is highly regarded. She was known for her sharp intelligence and impeccable memory, which enabled her to learn and remember vast amounts of knowledge. She was considered an Islamic law and jurisprudence authority, and many revered scholars sought her guidance and opinion on important matters. Her influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence cannot be ignored, and her teachings continue to be studied and applied today. Aisha's relationship with the other wives of Prophet Muhammad was one of mutual respect and cooperation. She was known for her kind and compassionate nature and ability to resolve conflicts among her wives. Her participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period is also noteworthy. She was a fierce warrior and deeply loved her religion and community. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are a testament to her talent and creativity. She was a prolific writer and poet, and her works continue to inspire and captivate readers. Her life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad provide a unique perspective on the early days of Islam, and her leadership and political influence in early Islamic society are a testament to her strength and character. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad is a topic of much debate and controversy. However, it is widely acknowledged that she played a significant role in shaping the future of Islamic leadership and governance. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also noteworthy. She was known for her deep connection to Allah and devotion to her faith. Her legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are also significant. She was a pioneer in advocating for women's rights and empowerment, and her teachings continue to inspire women worldwide today. In conclusion, Aisha's significance in Islamic history cannot be overstated. She was a beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, a teacher, scholar, and leader in early Islamic society. Her contributions to Islamic law and jurisprudence, literature and poetry, and military expeditions during the early Islamic period continue to be studied and applied today. Her legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are also significant. She symbolizes strength, courage, and devotion to her faith. Purpose of the book. The purpose of this book, Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, is to shed light on the life and legacy of one of the most prominent and influential figures in Islamic history. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, was a devoted wife and companion and a scholar, teacher, and leader in early Islamic society. Her contributions to Islamic law, jurisprudence, literature, and poetry have continued to shape the Islamic world. For believers, Aisha's life and experiences offer valuable lessons and insights into the early days of Islam. Her close relationship with the Prophet and her participation in battles and military expeditions offer a unique perspective on the early history of Islam. Additionally, her spiritual and mystical experiences inspire and guide those seeking a deeper connection with their faith. For those interested in Aisha as a historical figure, this book provides a comprehensive overview of her life and accomplishments. Aisha's role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history and her influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence are explored. Her relationships with other wives of Prophet Muhammad and her participation in battles and military expeditions are also examined. Moreover, this book delves into Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry. Her life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are also explored, providing a unique perspective on the early days of Islam. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society are also examined, as well as her role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad. Furthermore, this book explores Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. Her contributions to advancing women's rights in early Islamic society continue to inspire and inform current debates about gender equality within the Islamic world. Overall, Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, offers a comprehensive and insightful look into the life and legacy of one of the most influential figures in Islamic history. It is a must-read for anyone interested in learning more about Aisha and her contributions to early Islamic society and those seeking inspiration and guidance in their faith. Overview of the chapters. The book Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, comprehensively explores the life and legacy of one of the most influential women in Islamic history. This book is intended for believers who want to understand Aisha's life and her contributions to the development of Islamic law, literature, and society. The chapters in this book cover a wide range of topics related to Aisha, including her role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history, her influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence, and her relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad. This book also examines Aisha's participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period and her contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry. One of the key themes of this book is Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad. This chapter explores the complexities of their relationship, including their age difference and the challenges they faced as a couple. Another important theme in this book is Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society. This chapter examines her role in shaping the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad and her contributions to the development of Islamic governance and administration. The book also delves into Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition, including her dreams and visions. This chapter explores how Aisha's spiritual experiences shaped her worldview and her contributions to Islamic scholarship and theology. Finally, this book examines Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. This chapter explores how Aisha's life and teachings have inspired generations of Muslim women to pursue education, leadership, and social justice. Overall, the chapters in this book provide a comprehensive overview of Aisha's life and legacy and illuminate the many ways in which she shaped Islamic history and thought. Aisha, the wife of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha's lineage and family background. Aisha's lineage and family background is an essential aspect of her life that helped shape her into the influential figure she became in Islamic history. Aisha was born into a respected family in the tribe of Banu Taym, which was known for its strong ties to the Prophet Muhammad and his family. Her father, Abu Bakr, was one of the closest companions of the Prophet and later became the first caliph of Islam. Aisha's mother, Ruman, was also a devout Muslim and essential to her daughter's upbringing. Growing up in such a prominent family, Aisha was exposed to the teachings of Islam from a young age. She was known for her sharp intellect and her ability to memorize and recite the Quran, which would later make her a renowned scholar and teacher in Islamic history. Her family's close relationship with the Prophet Muhammad also allowed her to witness firsthand his teachings and actions, which would profoundly impact her life and beliefs. Aisha's family background also influenced her marriage to the Prophet Muhammad. She was betrothed to him at a young age, and their marriage would become one of the most significant in Islamic history. As the beloved wife of the Prophet, Aisha played an essential role in his life and in the development of the early Islamic community. Despite her youth during her marriage, Aisha quickly became a prominent figure in Islamic society. She was known for her intelligence, wit, and courage, and she played an active role in the political and social affairs of the community. Her contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also noteworthy, as she was one of the few women of her time to write and publish her works. Aisha's family background and lineage testify to her strong ties to the Prophet Muhammad and his teachings. Her upbringing and marriage to the Prophet would shape her into one of the most influential figures in Islamic history, and her legacy continues to inspire modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. Aisha's marriage to Prophet Muhammad. One of Aisha's most widely discussed and debated aspects is her marriage to Prophet Muhammad. Aisha was just 6 years old when she was betrothed to the Prophet, and the wedding was consummated when she was 9. This has been controversial for some, with critics arguing that such a young marriage is unacceptable by modern standards. However, it is essential to understand that the norms and practices of marriage were very different in 7th century Arabia. It was common for girls to be married at a young age, and Aisha's marriage to the Prophet was not unusual in this context. Moreover, it is essential to note that Aisha's parents consented to the wedding, and she was happy to be married to the Prophet. It is also worth noting that Aisha's marriage to the Prophet was not just a personal relationship but had significant political and social implications. Aisha was a member of the powerful Quraysh tribe, and her marriage to the Prophet helped to forge alliances between different clans and tribes. Moreover, as the Prophet's wife, Aisha played an important role in the early Islamic community, serving as a teacher, scholar, and leader. Despite the age difference between Aisha and the Prophet, their marriage was a loving and fulfilling. Aisha was known for her intelligence, wit, and charm, and the Prophet deeply admired her. They shared a deep spiritual connection, and Aisha was one of the few who could truly understand the Prophet's teachings and insights. In Islamic tradition, Aisha is often called the mother of the believers, a title that reflects her essential role in the early Islamic community. She was a teacher and mentor to many, and her contributions to Islamic law, jurisprudence, and literature are still studied and debated today. Moreover, Aisha's legacy has profoundly impacted modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism, inspiring generations of Muslim women to seek education, leadership, and equality. In conclusion, Aisha's marriage to Prophet Muhammad is a complex and multifaceted aspect of her life that cannot be reduced to simplistic judgments or stereotypes. While it is true that the age difference between Aisha and the Prophet may seem problematic by modern standards, it is vital to understand the historical and cultural context of their relationship. Moreover, Aisha's marriage was a source of love, companionship, and spiritual fulfillment, and her contributions to Islamic history and culture continue to inspire and challenge us today. Aisha's relationship with Prophet Muhammad. Aisha's relationship with Prophet Muhammad is a pivotal aspect of Islamic history. As the youngest and most beloved wife of the Prophet, Aisha played a crucial role in shaping the development of early Islamic law, jurisprudence, and literature. Her relationship with the Prophet was one of deep love and respect, and it set a standard of companionship and partnership in a marriage that remains a model for Muslims to this day. As a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history, Aisha was known for her intelligence, wit, and wisdom. She was one of the most learned and respected women of her time, and her contributions to the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence were significant. She was a fierce advocate for justice and fairness, and her contemporaries highly valued her opinions on matters of law and morality. Despite being the youngest of the Prophet's wives, Aisha was a force to be reckoned with among her peers. Her relationship with the other wives of Prophet Muhammad was one of mutual respect and affection, and she was known for her kindness and generosity towards them. She participated in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period, and her leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were significant. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are a testament to the strength and resilience of women in Islamic tradition. She was a devoted wife and companion, and Muslims revere her spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition to this day. Her legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are significant, and she continues to inspire women worldwide to strive for equality and justice. In conclusion, Aisha's relationship with Prophet Muhammad was one of deep love and respect, and it set a standard of companionship and partnership in marriage that remains a model for Muslims to this day. Her contributions to early Islamic law, jurisprudence, literature, and politics were significant, and her legacy continues to inspire and empower women worldwide. Aisha's household and family life. Aisha's household and family life was a crucial aspect that significantly shaped her personality and character. As the wife of Prophet Muhammad, Aisha lived a life of simplicity and humility. She was known for her kindness and compassion towards her family, friends, and strangers. Aisha was a devoted wife who loved Prophet Muhammad profoundly and cared for him throughout his life. Aisha's household was a place of learning and education. As a scholar and teacher, Aisha taught her family and students about Islamic history, law, and jurisprudence. She was known for her intelligence and knowledge, and many people sought her advice on various matters. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad was one of love and respect. She had a close bond with Khadijah, the Prophet's first wife, and was essential in nurturing their relationship. Aisha was also close to Hafsa, one of Prophet Muhammad's wives, and helped her to memorize the Quran. Aisha participated in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period. She was known for her bravery and courage on the battlefield. Aisha was also a skilled poet and writer who contributed to early Islamic literature and poetry. Her work was highly respected and is still studied today. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad were unique and challenging. She was only 6 years old when she married Prophet Muhammad, and she faced many difficulties in her early years of marriage. However, she remained strong and resilient and became a source of inspiration for many women. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were significant. She played an essential role in shaping the political landscape of the time and was instrumental in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition were also noteworthy. She deeply connected with Allah and was known for her spiritual insights and experiences. Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are significant. She was a trailblazer for women's rights and equality, and her contributions to Islamic history and literature continue to inspire women worldwide. In conclusion, Aisha's household and family life were essential to her legacy. Her love for Prophet Muhammad and her commitment to Islam shaped her character and influenced her contributions to society. Aisha's life inspires believers, especially women, who seek to live a life of purpose and dedication to Allah. Aisha's education and intellectual pursuits. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, was known for her beauty and purity, exceptional intellect, and thirst for knowledge. As a young girl, Aisha was fortunate to have access to the best education available in pre-Islamic Arabia. Her father, Abu Bakr, was a wealthy merchant and a close companion of the Prophet Muhammad. He believed in the importance of education for both boys and girls and ensured that Aisha received the same education as her male siblings. Aisha's education was wider than reading and writing. She also learned about history, poetry, and languages. She was fluent in Arabic, which was the language of the Quran and spoken by the people of Arabia at that time. Aisha's education was not only comprehensive but also rigorous. She was known for her sharp mind and ability to remember and analyze complex information. Aisha's education continued after her marriage to Prophet Muhammad. On the contrary, it continued and flourished under his guidance and tutelage. The Prophet Muhammad recognized Aisha's intelligence and encouraged her to pursue her intellectual interests. He often engaged her in discussions and debates about various topics, including religion, politics, and social issues. Aisha's opinions and insights were highly respected by the Prophet Muhammad and other companions of the Prophet. Aisha's intellectual pursuits were wider than discussions and debates. She also became a teacher and a scholar in her own right. Many people, including men, came to her to learn about Islam and to seek her advice on various matters. Aisha was known for her ability to explain complex concepts in simple terms and for her excellent memory. She was also a prolific writer and poet. Some of her poems and writings have survived and are considered important sources of information about early Islamic history. Aisha's education and intellectual pursuits profoundly impacted Islamic law and jurisprudence. She was one of the most important sources of hadith, which are the sayings and actions of the Prophet Muhammad. Her extensive knowledge and impeccable memory made her a reliable source of information about the Prophet Muhammad and his teachings. Many of the hadiths narrated by Aisha have been included in the most important collections of hadith, such as Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Aisha's education and intellectual pursuits also significantly impacted the development of Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. Aisha was a strong advocate for women's rights and equality. She believed that women should have access to education and be allowed to participate in all aspects of society. Her legacy has inspired generations of Muslim women to pursue education and to fight for their rights. In conclusion, Aisha's education and intellectual pursuits were essential to her life and legacy. They not only enriched her own life but also had a significant impact on Islamic history and culture. Aisha's dedication to knowledge and learning is an inspiration to all believers and a testament to the importance of education in Islam. Aisha's role as a teacher and mentor to other companions of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, was not only a devoted wife but also an exceptional teacher and mentor to other companions of the Prophet. Her role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history is widely recognized, and her influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence is immeasurable. Aisha's remarkable intelligence and deep understanding of Islamic teachings made her a respected figure in early Islamic society. She was known for her eloquence, knowledge of the Quran, and ability to interpret and explain complex legal and religious concepts. Her role as a mentor was particularly noteworthy, as she took other companions under her wing and taught them the intricacies of Islamic law and ethics. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad was also one of mutual respect and admiration. Although they had their differences, they all shared a deep love and reverence for the Prophet and worked together to promote the teachings of Islam. Apart from her role as a teacher, Aisha was also a warrior and participated in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period. Her bravery and leadership were evident in the Battle of the Camel, where she led an army of thousands of men and fought fiercely for the cause of Islam. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also noteworthy. She was a prolific writer and poet. Her works have been studied and admired for centuries. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are also worth noting. Her marriage to the Prophet at a young age and her devotion to him throughout their life together have inspired many Muslims. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society are also significant. She was a trusted advisor to the Prophet, and her opinions were highly valued in governance and policy matters. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad is also a subject of debate among scholars. Her support for her father-in-law, Abu Bakr, as the first caliph of Islam, is well known, and her influence in shaping the early Islamic state cannot be overstated. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also a source of inspiration for many Muslims. Her devotion to prayer and deep connection with God exemplify how Islam encourages a personal and intimate relationship with the divine. Finally, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are significant. Her example has inspired many women to take an active role in society and to promote gender equality and justice. In conclusion, Aisha's role as a teacher and mentor to other companions of Prophet Muhammad is a testament to her wisdom, knowledge, and devotion to Islam. Her contributions to Islamic scholarship, literature, and governance are immeasurable, and her example inspires and guides Muslims worldwide. Aisha's contributions to Islamic scholarship and religious knowledge. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played an instrumental role in developing Islamic scholarship and religious learning. Her contributions to early Islamic history are vast, and her influence on Islamic law and jurisprudence development is still felt today. Aisha was not only the wife of the Prophet, but she was also a scholar and teacher in her own right. She was known for her extensive knowledge of the Quran and Hadith and her ability to interpret and explain complex Islamic concepts. This earned her the title of Mother of the Believers and made her a respected authority on religious matters. Aisha's influence on Islamic law and jurisprudence is particularly notable. She was involved in several legal and political debates during the early Islamic period and was crucial in shaping Islamic law. Islamic scholars continue to study and debate her opinions on inheritance, marriage, and divorce. Despite being one of the Prophet's wives, Aisha had a close relationship with the other wives and was known for her kindness and generosity. She was also a brave and skilled warrior, participating in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also significant. She was a prolific writer and poet. Her works are still read and studied today. Aisha's experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are also well documented. Her marriage to the Prophet at a young age was a source of controversy, but she became a respected leader and political figure in early Islamic society. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad is also worth noting. She played a key role in the political and social upheaval that followed the Prophet's death and helped ensure a smooth power transition. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also celebrated. She was known for her devotion to God and deep understanding of Islamic spirituality. Finally, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism cannot be overstated. She is revered as a symbol of women's empowerment, and her contributions to Islamic scholarship continue to inspire Muslim women worldwide. In sum, Aisha was a remarkable figure in Islamic history, and her contributions to Islamic scholarship and religious knowledge continue to be celebrated and studied today. Aisha's role in the interpretation and implementation of Islamic law. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played an essential role in interpreting and implementing Islamic law. As a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history, Aisha's influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence was significant. Aisha was a renowned Islamic law scholar known for her extensive knowledge of the Quran and Hadith. Her opinions and interpretations of Islamic law were highly respected, and she was often sought out for guidance on complex legal issues. She was known for her sharp intellect and her ability to analyze and interpret complex legal texts. Aisha's role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history was instrumental in developing Islamic jurisprudence. Her teachings and interpretations of Islamic law helped to shape the legal system of early Islamic society, and her influence is still felt in the Islamic legal tradition today. Aisha's relationship with the other wives of Prophet Muhammad was also significant. She was known for her close friendship with Khadijah, the first wife of Prophet Muhammad, and her strong bond with Fatima, the Prophet's daughter. Aisha's participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period also demonstrated her courage and bravery. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry were also significant. She was known for her eloquent speeches and ability to express complex ideas clearly and concisely. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad were also significant, and her leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were notable. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad was also significant. She played a major role in the political and social events that followed the end of the Prophet, and her leadership and influence helped shape Islam's future. In addition to her scholarly and political contributions, Aisha also had spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition. She was known for her deep devotion to God and ability to connect with the divine. Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are also significant. She was a strong advocate for women's rights and equality, and her teachings and interpretations of Islamic law have been used to support women's rights movements worldwide. In conclusion, Aisha's role in interpreting and implementing Islamic law was essential in shaping the early Islamic legal system. Her contributions to Islamic scholarship, literature, and poetry, as well as her leadership and political influence, have had a lasting impact on Islamic history and society. Aisha's legacy as a strong advocate for women's rights and equality continues to inspire and influence modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. Aisha's contributions to the development of Islamic jurisprudence. Aisha's contributions to the development of Islamic jurisprudence. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played a significant role in developing Islamic jurisprudence. Aisha, known for her intelligence and wit, was a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history, and her contributions to the development of Islamic law are still revered today. Aisha's influence on Islamic law and jurisprudence development cannot be overstated. As a teacher, Aisha was known for her deep understanding of the Quran and Sunnah and her ability to explain complex legal concepts clearly and concisely. Her extensive knowledge of Islamic law and jurisprudence earned her the respect and admiration of her contemporaries, and her teachings continue to influence Islamic legal scholars to this day. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad was also significant in the development of Islamic jurisprudence. As one of the wives of the Prophet, Aisha was intimately familiar with the Prophet's teachings and practices, and she could share this knowledge with her fellow wives and students. Her close relationship with the Prophet and extensive knowledge of his teachings made her a valued source of guidance and advice for Muslim women seeking to understand Islamic law and jurisprudence. Aisha's participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period also contributed to the development of Islamic jurisprudence. As a witness to many of the actions fought during the early Islamic period, Aisha was able to provide valuable insights into the application of Islamic law in times of conflict. Her experiences on the battlefield helped to shape Islamic legal thinking on issues such as war and peace, and her teachings continue to be studied by Muslim scholars today. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry also played a role in developing Islamic jurisprudence. As a gifted writer and poet, Aisha used her talents to convey important theological and legal concepts to her students and readers. Her writings on Islamic law and jurisprudence continue to be studied and admired by Islamic scholars and literary enthusiasts alike. In conclusion, Aisha's contributions to developing Islamic jurisprudence were significant and far-reaching. Her teachings and insights continue to be studied and admired by Muslims worldwide, and her legacy as a teacher, scholar, and leader in early Islamic society inspires women and men alike. Aisha's influence on the evolution of Islamic legal thought. Aisha's influence on the development of Islamic legal thought is essential to her legacy. She was a prominent scholar and teacher of Islamic law, and her contributions are still studied and revered today. Aisha's role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history was pivotal in shaping the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence. Aisha was known for her intellect and her ability to understand and interpret the Quran and Hadith. She was one of the few companions of the Prophet who had a deep understanding of Islamic law, and her opinions were sought after by scholars and jurists alike. Her influence on the development of Islamic law was significant, and she played a crucial role in shaping the legal framework of early Islamic society. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad was also essential in the evolution of Islamic legal thought. She was known for her close ties with other wives of the Prophet, and her influence extended beyond her immediate family. Her participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period was another aspect of her legacy that contributed to the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry were significant as well. She was a prolific writer and poet. Her works are still studied and appreciated today. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad also shaped her understanding of Islamic law and jurisprudence. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society cannot be understated. She was a respected leader and advisor, and her opinions were highly valued by the leaders of the time. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad was also significant, and her influence on the political landscape of early Islamic society cannot be overstated. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are another aspect of her legacy that is still studied today. Her spiritual insights and mystical experiences are seen as a source of inspiration and guidance for many Muslims worldwide. Finally, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are significant. Her life and teachings have inspired many Muslim women to strive for greater equality and justice in their societies. In conclusion, Aisha's influence on the evolution of Islamic legal thought was significant, and her legacy continues to shape Islamic law and jurisprudence today. Her role as a teacher, scholar, and leader in early Islamic society inspired many Muslims worldwide, and her contributions to Islamic literature and poetry are still studied and appreciated today. Aisha's life and teachings continue to inspire and guide many Muslim women worldwide, and her legacy will continue to inspire and guide future generations of Muslims. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha's relationships with Khadija, Sauda, Hafsa, and other wives of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, had a unique relationship with the other wives of the Prophet. She was the youngest of the wives and was known for her intelligence and wit. Aisha had a close relationship with Khadija, the first wife of the Prophet, who had passed away before Aisha's marriage. Khadija had been a great supporter of the Prophet and had played a significant role in the early years of Islam. Aisha admired and respected Khadija and often spoke fondly of her. Aisha also had a close relationship with Sauda, one of the Prophet's wives who had been widowed twice before marrying the Prophet. Sauda was older than Aisha and had a nurturing personality. Aisha learned a lot from Sauda, and the two strongly bonded. Hafsa, another wife of the Prophet, was also close to Aisha. Hafsa was the daughter of one of the Prophet's closest companions and was known for her piety and knowledge of the Quran. Aisha and Hafsa often spent time together, talking about religion and their experiences as wives of the Prophet. Despite their closeness, there were also moments of tension between Aisha and the other wives. The most significant incident occurred when Aisha was accused of infidelity. The other wives had spread rumors about Aisha, which caused a rift between them. However, the Prophet intervened and cleared Aisha's name, and the wives reconciled. Aisha's relationship with the other wives of the Prophet is significant because it shows the wives' diversity of personalities and backgrounds. Aisha's close relationships with Khadija, Sauda, and Hafsa demonstrate the mutual respect and admiration that existed between them. The incident of Aisha's accusation of infidelity highlights the importance of trust and communication in any relationship, even among the Prophet's wives. Overall, Aisha's relationships with the other wives of the Prophet were complex and nuanced, but they ultimately demonstrated the importance of sisterhood and support among women in early Islamic history. Aisha's role in fostering unity and harmony among the wives of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha, the wife of Prophet Muhammad, played a significant role in fostering unity and harmony among the wives of the Prophet. Her presence and influence within the household were instrumental in maintaining peace and order. Aisha was known for her wisdom and intelligence, and she used these qualities to diffuse conflicts and disagreements among the wives of the Prophet. All the wives respected her and was often consulted for advice and guidance. Aisha's relationship with the other wives of Prophet Muhammad was characterized by kindness, compassion, and generosity. She treated them all with respect and dignity and was always willing to help them in any way she could. During battles and military expeditions, Aisha played an active role, supporting and assisting the Prophet and his companions. She was known for her courage and bravery, and her presence on the battlefield often inspired the troops. Aisha was also a prolific writer and poet and made significant contributions to early Islamic literature. Her writings and poetry continue to inspire and educate Muslims around the world. As a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad, Aisha faced many challenges and difficulties. However, she remained steadfast in her faith and was a role model for women in Islamic society. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were remarkable. She played an active role in the affairs of the state and was known for her wisdom and sound judgment. After the death of Prophet Muhammad, Aisha played a crucial role in the succession of leadership. She supported the candidacy of her father, Abu Bakr, for the position of caliph, and her influence was instrumental in his eventual election. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also noteworthy. She deeply connected with God and was known for her devotion and piety. Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are significant. She serves as an inspiration to many Muslim women around the world, who look up to her as a role model and a source of inspiration. In conclusion, Aisha's role in fostering unity and harmony among the wives of Prophet Muhammad was crucial in maintaining peace and order within the household. Her wisdom, intelligence, and compassion continue to inspire and educate Muslims worldwide, and her legacy continues to shape and influence Islamic societies to this day. Aisha's involvement in the Battle of Badr, Uhud, and other military expeditions. Aisha's involvement in the Battle of Badr, Uhud, and other military expeditions is a testament to her bravery and dedication to the early Islamic community. As one of the wives of Prophet Muhammad, Aisha participated in several battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period. Her participation was symbolic and practical, as she played a crucial role in supporting and motivating the Muslim soldiers. During the Battle of Badr, Aisha provided the soldiers with water and food and even helped treat the wounded. She also encouraged the soldiers and reminded them of their faith and duty towards Islam. Her presence on the battlefield inspired the Muslim soldiers, who saw her as a symbol of courage and commitment. Similarly, during the Battle of Uhud, Aisha's involvement was instrumental in boosting the morale of the Muslim soldiers. She provided water and medical assistance to the wounded and helped in the overall management of the battlefield. Her leadership and organizational skills were highly valued by the Muslim community and were crucial in the success of the battle. Apart from these battles, Aisha also participated in several military expeditions, supporting and guiding the Muslim soldiers. Her contributions to the early Islamic military campaigns were practical and symbolic, as she represented the strength and courage of Muslim women. Aisha's involvement in the military campaigns reflects her commitment to the early Islamic community and her dedication to the cause of Islam. The Muslim community highly valued her bravery and leadership skills, and her contributions to the early Islamic military campaigns were crucial in shaping the future of Islam. In conclusion, Aisha's involvement in the Battle of Badr, Uhud, and other military expeditions is a testament to her bravery and leadership skills. Her contributions to the early Islamic military campaigns were crucial in shaping the future of Islam and were highly valued by the Muslim community. Her legacy as a symbol of courage and commitment inspires modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. Aisha's role as a strategist and advisor in military campaigns. Aisha was not only a beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad but also a strategic thinker and advisor in military campaigns. She played a crucial role in the early Islamic period, where she accompanied the Prophet in many battles and military expeditions. Aisha's expertise in military strategy was evident in the Battle of Uhud, where she advised the Prophet on how to deploy the Muslim army. Her advice proved effective, as the Muslims gained an upper hand in the battle. During the Battle of Khaybar, Aisha also played a significant role in providing the Prophet with crucial intelligence information that helped the Muslim army win. Aisha's contributions to the military campaigns were not limited to her strategic thinking and advice. She also actively participated in the battles. During the Battle of the Camel, Aisha led an army against Ali, the fourth caliph, in a dispute over leadership. Although she lost the battle, her bravery and leadership were admired by many. Aisha's role as a strategist and advisor in military campaigns was not limited to the battlefield. She was also a trusted confidant of the Prophet, who sought her advice on various matters. Her intelligence, wisdom, and strategic thinking made her a valuable asset to the Muslim community. Aisha's contributions to the military campaigns during the early Islamic period were not just limited to her role as a strategist and advisor. She also played a crucial role in providing medical assistance to the wounded soldiers, and she even accompanied the Prophet on his travels to negotiate peace treaties with the enemy. Aisha's role as a strategist and advisor in military campaigns highlights her importance in the early Islamic period. Her contributions to the battles and military expeditions were crucial in shaping the history of Islam. Her intelligence, wisdom, and strategic thinking continue to inspire believers and exemplify leadership and bravery. Aisha's literary and poetic works. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, was a great teacher, scholar, prolific writer, and poet. She had a profound impact on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence, as well as on Islam's spiritual and mystical traditions. Aisha's literary and poetic works are a testament to her deep understanding of Islamic theology and commitment to spreading Islam's message. Her writings cover various topics, including ethics, morality, spirituality, politics, and social justice. One of Aisha's most significant contributions to Islamic literature is her collection of hadiths, which are the sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha was known for her excellent memory and ability to recall and accurately transmit these hadiths. Her collection of hadiths has had a profound impact on Islamic jurisprudence and is still widely studied and referenced today. Aisha was also gifted and considered one of the greatest female poets in Islamic history. Her poetry was known for its beauty, depth, and eloquence. Many of her poems focused on love, longing, and spirituality, inspiring generations of Muslims throughout history. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad also significantly impacted her literary and poetic works. She often wrote about her love for Prophet Muhammad and devotion to Islam, reflecting her unique perspective as a woman in early Islamic society. Her literary and poetic works also reflected Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society. She strongly advocated for women's rights and played a critical role in shaping early Islamic law and jurisprudence. Her writings on social justice and political leadership continue to inspire modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. In conclusion, Aisha's literary and poetic works are a testament to her profound wisdom, knowledge, and spirituality. Her contributions to Islamic literature and poetry have significantly impacted Islamic history and continue to inspire Muslims today. Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are a testament to her enduring impact on Islamic society and culture. Aisha's influence on the development of Arabic literature and poetry. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played a crucial role in developing Arabic literature and poetry. Her influence on early Islamic history's literary and poetic landscape is undeniable, and her contributions are still felt today. As a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history, Aisha was known for her exceptional knowledge and intellect. She was one of the most prominent and respected scholars of her time, and her students included some of the most famous and influential figures in Islamic history. Aisha's influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence was also significant. She was renowned for her knowledge of Islamic law and her ability to interpret and apply it in a fair and just way. Even though Aisha had a complex relationship with the other wives of Prophet Muhammad, her contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry cannot be ignored. She was a gifted poet and writer. Her works are still studied and admired today. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad were also instrumental in shaping early Islamic history's literary and poetic landscape. Her unique perspective and insights into the life and teachings of the Prophet were invaluable, and she played a crucial role in preserving his legacy for future generations. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were also noteworthy. She was a respected and influential figure, and those in power highly valued her opinions. In the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad, Aisha played a crucial role. She was a vocal and active participant in the debates and discussions surrounding the issue, and her opinions carried significant weight. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition were also meaningful. She was known for her deep devotion to God and her intense spiritual practices, and her experiences continue to inspire and guide Muslims today. Finally, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism cannot be overstated. She was a champion of women's rights and equality, and her example continues to inspire Muslim women worldwide. In conclusion, Aisha bint Abu Bakr's influence on developing Arabic literature and poetry was immense. Her contributions to early Islamic history, her unique perspective and insights, and her leadership and political influence continue to be felt today. Aisha's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of her spirit and her unwavering commitment to justice and equality. Aisha's childhood and upbringing. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, was born into a noble family in the city of Mecca in the year 614 CE. Her father, Abu Bakr, was a close friend and companion of the Prophet, and her mother, Ruman, was also a respected member of society. Aisha was the youngest of Abu Bakr's children and grew up in a loving and supportive environment. Aisha's childhood was marked by a strong curiosity and a thirst for knowledge. She was known for her intelligence and quick wit, and her father encouraged her to pursue her studies and learn as much as she could about the world around her. Aisha was particularly interested in the arts of poetry and storytelling, often entertaining her family and friends with her tales. As a young girl, Aisha was profoundly religious and strongly believed in God. The teachings of the Prophet inspired her, and she would often accompany her father to hear him speak at the mosque. Aisha was eager to learn more about Islam, and she would ask the Prophet questions about the teachings and practices of the religion. Despite her young age, Aisha was deeply committed to social justice and equality. She was concerned about the plight of the poor and the marginalized in society, and she would often donate her own money and possessions to help those in need. Aisha's upbringing laid the foundation for her future role as a teacher, scholar, and leader in Islamic society. Her love of learning and strong faith in God would guide her throughout her life, and her commitment to justice and equality would inspire others to follow in her footsteps. As believers, we can learn much from Aisha's childhood and upbringing. We can strive to cultivate a love of knowledge and a deep faith in God and work to promote social justice and equality in our communities. By following in Aisha's footsteps, we can help to build a better world for ourselves and future generations. Aisha's marriage to Prophet Muhammad at a young age is a topic that has been widely discussed and debated over the centuries. While some may view it as controversial, it is essential to understand the cultural and historical context of the time it occurred. As a believer, it is crucial to recognize the significance of this event in Islamic history and its impact on the life of Aisha, the wife of Prophet Muhammad. At 6, Aisha was betrothed to Prophet Muhammad, and their marriage was consummated when she was only 9 years old. This may seem shocking to modern sensibilities, but it was a common practice in Arabia then. Aisha's marriage to Prophet Muhammad was seen as a symbol of his spiritual and political leadership, and it solidified his alliance with her father, Abu Bakr, who later became the first caliph of Islam. Despite her young age, Aisha played a significant role in the early Islamic community. She was a renowned teacher and scholar, and her contributions to the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence are still studied and debated. Aisha was also a strong and influential figure in early Islamic politics, and many of her contemporaries highly valued her opinions and decisions. Aisha's relationship with the other wives of Prophet Muhammad was complex, but many of them respected and admired her. She participated in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period, and her bravery and leadership on the battlefield were widely recognized. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also noteworthy. She was a prolific writer and poet. Her works are still studied and celebrated today. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad have been the subject of much discussion and speculation. Still, she was a strong and resilient woman who faced many challenges with courage and determination. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society cannot be overstated. She played a crucial role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad, and her opinions and decisions were highly respected and valued by many of her contemporaries. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also significant. She was known for her deep devotion to Allah and her profound spiritual insights, and her teachings and writings on spirituality continue to inspire and guide believers worldwide. Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are also important to consider. Her life and example have inspired generations of Muslim women to speak out for their rights and to challenge patriarchal norms and structures. In conclusion, Aisha's marriage to Prophet Muhammad at a young age is a complex and controversial topic. Still, it is essential to understanding the history and development of Islam. As believers, we must strive to appreciate Aisha's contributions to Islamic scholarship, politics, and spirituality, and to honor the legacy of this remarkable woman who played such a significant role in the early Islamic community. Aisha's experiences as a wife and companion of Prophet Muhammad are integral to Islamic history. As the beloved wife of the Prophet, Aisha played a crucial role in the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence in early Islamic society. She was a wife and companion and a teacher, scholar, and leader who contributed to many aspects of Islamic life. Aisha's role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history is well known. She was known for her knowledge of the Quran and Hadith and was revered as a great teacher and scholar by her contemporaries. Her contributions to the Islamic intellectual tradition are still revered today, and her teachings have been passed down through generations of Islamic scholars. Aisha's influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence is also significant. She was involved in many legal and political debates during the early Islamic period, and the time scholars highly respected her opinions. Scholars still study and debate her contributions to the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad is also an essential aspect of her life. She was known for her close friendships with other wives of the Prophet, and her relationships with them were marked by mutual respect and support. Aisha's participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period is also noteworthy. She was known for her bravery, and her fellow Muslims and her enemies respected her battlefield leadership. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also significant. She was known for her literary talents, and scholars still study and appreciate her poetry. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are also an important part of her legacy. Her marriage to the Prophet at a young age was significant, and her experiences as a wife and companion of the Prophet have been studied and admired by generations of Muslims. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society are also noteworthy. She was known for her political savvy and ability to navigate the complex political landscape of the early Islamic community. Her leadership and influence were felt by all those who knew her. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad is also significant. Her support for the early caliphs was necessary, and her influence helped to shape the early Islamic state. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also essential to her legacy. Islamic scholars have studied and admired her devotion to God and her experiences of mystical union with Him for centuries. Finally, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are also significant. Her example of leadership, scholarship, and bravery has inspired generations of Muslim women to pursue their own goals and dreams, and her contributions to the Islamic intellectual tradition continue to be celebrated and studied today. Aisha's role in political affairs and decision-making in early Islamic society. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played an extraordinary role in early Islamic society's political affairs and decision-making. Aisha was known for her exceptional leadership skills, sharp intellect, and deep understanding of Islamic law and jurisprudence. Aisha's influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence is unparalleled. She was a renowned scholar and teacher who contributed significantly to the understanding and interpreting of Islamic law. She was known for her expertise in Hadith, a collection of sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad that serve as a primary source of Islamic law. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad was also noteworthy. She was known for her kindness and generosity towards them and maintained strong relationships with them throughout her life. Her participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period is well documented. She played a significant role in the Battle of the Camel, a pivotal event in early Islamic history. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also significant. She was a prolific writer and poet who produced a large body of work that remains influential today. Her life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad provide a unique perspective on the early years of Islam. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were remarkable. She was a trusted advisor to Prophet Muhammad and played a critical role in the decision-making process of the early Islamic community. Her role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad is also notable. She supported her father-in-law, Abu Bakr, in his ascension to the caliphate and later played a key role in the opposition to the Umayyad dynasty. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also noteworthy. She was known for her deep piety and devotion to God, and her spiritual insights continue to inspire Muslims today. Her legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are also significant. Aisha's life and example continue to inspire and guide believers worldwide. Aisha's influence on the social and cultural norms of early Islamic society. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, is a prominent figure in early Islamic history. Her influence on early Islamic society's social and cultural norms was significant and has had a lasting impact on Islamic jurisprudence, literature, and women's rights activism. As a teacher and scholar, Aisha was crucial in educating men and women during the early Islamic period. She was known for her vast knowledge of Islamic law and jurisprudence, and her opinions were highly respected by scholars and leaders alike. Her influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence is evident in the many hadiths, sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad, narrated and are still used as guidance in Islamic legal matters. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad was one of respect and sisterhood. She maintained close ties with them and was known to have shared her knowledge and wisdom with them. Her participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period was also significant. She led troops and provided medical assistance to wounded soldiers, demonstrating her bravery and leadership skills. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also noteworthy. She was a prolific writer and poet. Her works are still studied and celebrated today. Her life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad have inspired many young Muslim women throughout history. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were also significant. She played an active role in the community's public affairs and was consulted on important matters of state. Her role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad is also well documented. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition have been a source of inspiration for many Muslim women. Her legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are also significant. Many Muslim women look to her as a role model and a source of inspiration for their activism. In conclusion, Aisha bint Abu Bakr's influence on early Islamic society's social and cultural norms was significant. Her contributions to Islamic jurisprudence, literature, and women's rights activism are still celebrated and studied today. She was a woman of excellent knowledge, wisdom, and leadership, and her legacy continues to inspire and influence Muslims worldwide. Aisha's role in the debates over the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad. One of the most controversial and contentious issues in early Islamic history was the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played a significant role in the debates and discussions during this period. The succession issue arose immediately after Prophet Muhammad's death in 632 CE. The question of who would lead the Muslim community was critical, and several candidates emerged, including Ali ibn Abi Talib, Abu Bakr, Umar ibn al-Khattab, and Uthman ibn Affan. Aisha, who was known for her intelligence and political acumen, played an active role in the debates and discussions surrounding the issue of succession. She supported her father's candidacy, Abu Bakr, and played a crucial role in his election as the first caliph of the Muslim community. Aisha's support for Abu Bakr was not without controversy, however. Many supporters of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, believed that he was the rightful successor to Prophet Muhammad. They argued that the Prophet had designated Ali as his successor on several occasions and that his leadership was necessary to preserve the actual teachings of Islam. Despite these disagreements, Aisha continued to support Abu Bakr and his successors, Umar and Uthman. She played an active role in the political and social life of the early Muslim community, providing guidance and advice to the caliphs and other leaders. Aisha's influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence was also significant. She was known for her knowledge and expertise in Islamic legal matters, and scholars and jurists highly respected her opinions and rulings. In addition to her political and legal contributions, Aisha also participated in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period. She was a skilled warrior and played a crucial role in several competitions, including the Battle of the Camel. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry were also significant. She was known for her eloquence and literary talent, and her poems and writings are still studied and admired by scholars and students of Islamic literature. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are also essential to her legacy. Her marriage to the Prophet at age 6 and their subsequent relationship have been the subject of much discussion and debate. Still, they also provide a unique insight into the early Muslim community and the role of women in Islamic society. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society continue to inspire and influence modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. Her legacy is a testament to the vital role that women have played in Islamic history and the ongoing struggle for gender equality in Muslim societies worldwide. Aisha's legacy in shaping the future of Islamic leadership and governance. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played a significant role in shaping the future of Islamic leadership and management. Her contributions to early Islamic history, law, and jurisprudence are still felt today, and her leadership and political influence continue to inspire women worldwide. As a teacher and scholar, Aisha's influence on Islamic law and jurisprudence development cannot be overstated. She was known for her intelligence, wit, and keen understanding of the Quran and Hadith. Her contemporaries highly respected Aisha's teachings and interpretations of Islamic law, and her opinions continue to be studied and debated by scholars today. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad was also noteworthy. Despite the challenges inherent in a polygamous marriage, Aisha maintained a close relationship with her fellow wives and was known for her kindness and generosity towards them. Aisha's participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period demonstrated her bravery and dedication to the cause of Islam. She played a key role in several important matches, and her fellow Muslims highly respected her leadership on the battlefield. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry were also significant. She was a prolific writer and poet, and her works continue to be studied and admired by scholars today. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad provide a unique perspective on the early days of Islam. Her insights into the Prophet's teachings and his personal life have been invaluable to scholars and believers alike. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were also noteworthy. She played an important role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad, and her contemporaries highly respected her opinions on governance matters. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition have also been the subject of much study and debate. Her insights into the nature of faith and spirituality inspire believers worldwide. Finally, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism cannot be overstated. Her example of leadership, bravery, and dedication to the cause of Islam continues to inspire women worldwide to fight for their rights and demand equal treatment under the law. In conclusion, Aisha's contributions to Islamic leadership and governance are significant and continue to be studied and admired by scholars and believers alike. Her legacy as a teacher, scholar, poet, and leader inspires Muslims worldwide, and her example of bravery, dedication, and commitment to the cause of Islam encourages women to fight for their rights and demand equal treatment under the law. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences. Aisha, the wife of Prophet Muhammad, is known for her spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition. As a believer, it is important to understand the significance of these experiences in shaping Aisha's understanding of Islam and her relationship with Allah. Aisha's spiritual experiences are often described as visions or dreams in Islamic literature. One of the most famous experiences is her vision of the Prophet Muhammad in paradise. In this vision, Aisha saw the Prophet Muhammad sitting on a throne surrounded by a beautiful garden. The Prophet Muhammad told Aisha that she would be with him in paradise and that he loved her deeply. Another spiritual experience Aisha had was a dream in which she saw the Prophet Muhammad's soul taken to heaven. In this dream, Aisha saw the Prophet Muhammad's soul being carried to heaven by two angels. Aisha was struck by the beauty of the angels and the light surrounding them. Aisha's spiritual experiences were not limited to visions and dreams. She was also known for her deep understanding of Islam and ability to interpret the Quran. Aisha's role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history was crucial in developing Islamic law and jurisprudence. She was revered by many for her knowledge and wisdom, and her influence on Islamic scholarship is still felt today. Aisha's spiritual experiences also played a role in her relationship with the other wives of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha was known to have a close relationship with the Prophet Muhammad, and her spiritual experiences only strengthened this bond. While there were occasional conflicts between Aisha and the other wives of the Prophet Muhammad, her spiritual experiences helped to bring them together and create a sense of unity within the household. Aisha's spiritual experiences were not limited to her personal life. She also actively participated in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were crucial in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha's spiritual experiences and her contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry have impacted Islamic culture and thought. Her legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism cannot be overstated. As believers, we should strive to learn from Aisha's spiritual experiences and her contributions to Islamic scholarship and culture. Aisha's influence on the development of Islamic mysticism and spirituality. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played a significant role in developing Islamic mysticism and spirituality. Her spiritual experiences and teachings have profoundly impacted the Islamic world, shaping the beliefs and practices of generations of Muslims. Aisha was known for her deep understanding of the Quran and Hadith, the sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad. She was a scholar and teacher of Islamic law and jurisprudence, and her contemporaries highly respected her opinions. However, her spiritual experiences set her apart and made her a revered figure in Islamic mysticism. Aisha had a close relationship with the Prophet, and her experiences with him were often the basis of her spiritual teachings. She was known to have had visions and dreams that provided her with deep insights into the nature of God and the universe. She also had a gift for interpreting dreams, and many Muslims sought her counsel on spiritual matters. One of Aisha's most significant contributions to Islamic mysticism was her emphasis on the importance of inner purification, known as tazkiyah. She believed that actual spiritual growth could only be achieved by purifying the heart and the soul. Aisha's teachings on tazkiyah influenced many Sufi masters, who developed practices and techniques for achieving inner purification. Aisha's spiritual influence also extended to the realm of poetry and literature. She was a gifted poet, and many poems expressed her deep love for God and devotion to the Prophet. Her poetry and writings have inspired generations of Muslims, and her legacy continues to be felt in Islamic literature and art. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences have impacted Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. Her example as a strong and independent woman has inspired generations of Muslim women to assert their rights and fight for equality. Aisha's legacy continues to inspire women worldwide to pursue their spiritual and intellectual aspirations and challenge gender norms and stereotypes. In conclusion, Aisha bint Abu Bakr's contributions to Islamic mysticism and spirituality are essential to her legacy. Her spiritual teachings and experiences have profoundly impacted the Islamic world, shaping the beliefs and practices of generations of Muslims. Aisha's example as a scholar, teacher, poet, and spiritual guide continues to inspire and guide Muslims worldwide. Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism. Aisha's influence on contemporary discourse on women's rights and gender equality in Islam. Aisha's influence on contemporary discourse on women's rights and gender equality in Islam is undeniable. As the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, Aisha played a significant role in early Islamic history, and her life experiences and contributions have continued to inspire and guide Muslim women in their quest for gender equality and justice. Aisha was not only the wife of Prophet Muhammad but also a teacher and scholar in her own right. Her deep knowledge of Islamic theology and jurisprudence made her a respected figure in early Islamic society, and she was known for her ability to interpret and apply Islamic teachings in everyday life situations. Aisha's influence on the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence is particularly noteworthy. Her contributions to the Hadith literature, which is a collection of sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad, have been instrumental in shaping Islamic legal thought and practice. Aisha's relationship with other wives of Prophet Muhammad is also worth mentioning. Despite occasional conflicts and rivalries, Aisha maintained cordial relations with other wives and was known for her kindness and generosity towards them. Aisha's participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period is a testament to her leadership skills and courage. She was a skilled warrior and strategist and played a crucial role in several battles, including the Battle of the Camel. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also significant. She was a gifted poet and writer and left behind several works that have become part of the Islamic literary canon. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are a source of inspiration and guidance for Muslim women. Her unwavering faith, resilience, and strength in the face of adversity have made her a role model for generations of Muslim women. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society are also noteworthy. She was actively involved in political affairs and played an important role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also worth exploring. She was known for her deep spiritual insights and mystical experiences, which have inspired many Muslim women seeking a deeper understanding of their faith. Finally, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism cannot be overstated. Her life and contributions have inspired many Muslim women to challenge patriarchal norms and traditions and fight for their rights and dignity. In conclusion, Aisha's influence on contemporary discourse on women's rights and gender equality in Islam is multifaceted and far-reaching. Her life and contributions continue to inspire and guide Muslim women in their quest for justice and equality, and her legacy remains an integral part of the Islamic intellectual and cultural heritage. Aisha's legacy in inspiring Muslim women to pursue education, leadership, and activism. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, was not only a wife and a mother but also a teacher, scholar, activist, and leader. Her legacy has inspired generations of Muslim women to pursue education, leadership, and activism. As a teacher and scholar, Aisha was well versed in the Quran, Hadith, and Islamic law. She was known for her intelligence, wit, and insight, and many companions of the Prophet sought her guidance and knowledge. Aisha's role as a teacher and scholar has helped shape Islamic scholarship and education, and her contributions to Islamic jurisprudence are still recognized today. Aisha was also a prolific poet and author, and her literary works have been praised for their beauty and depth. Her poetry and writings have inspired generations of Muslim women to express themselves creatively and to pursue their passions. In addition to her intellectual contributions, Aisha was also a warrior and participated in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period. Her bravery and leadership on the battlefield have inspired Muslim women to defend and protect their communities actively. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society are also noteworthy. She played a significant role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad and was a vocal advocate for the rights of women and marginalized groups. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition have also influenced the development of Islamic spirituality and mysticism. Her devotion to God and her experiences of divine inspiration have inspired Muslim women to seek a deeper connection with God and explore Islam's mystical dimensions. Today, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are undeniable. Her example has inspired Muslim women to assert their rights and challenge patriarchal structures and norms historically marginalized and oppress them. In conclusion, Aisha's life and legacy are a testament to the power and potential of Muslim women. Her contributions to Islamic scholarship, literature, leadership, and activism have paved the way for future generations of Muslim women to pursue their dreams and to make a positive impact on their communities. Summary of Aisha's life and contributions to Islamic history. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, played a significant role in Islamic history. She was known for her intelligence, wisdom, and leadership skills. Aisha was not only the wife of Prophet Muhammad, but she was also a teacher, scholar, and role model for women in early Islamic history. Aisha's contributions to Islamic law and jurisprudence were significant. She was known for her Islamic law expertise and ability to interpret the Quran and Hadith. Her opinions were highly respected, and her contributions to Islamic law and jurisprudence development were invaluable. Aisha's relationships with other wives of Prophet Muhammad were also noteworthy. She was known to be a loving and caring wife, and her relationships with other wives were based on mutual respect and love. Aisha's participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period also demonstrated her bravery and courage. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry were also significant. She was known to be a skilled poet and writer, and her works were highly regarded in Islamic history. Islamic literature also documents her life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society were remarkable. She was known to be a strong leader, and the people of Medina highly respected her opinions. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad was also significant. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition were also noteworthy. She was known to have experienced visions and dreams interpreted as divine revelations. Her legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism are also notable. In conclusion, Aisha's life and contributions to Islamic history were significant. Her role as a teacher, scholar, and leader in early Islamic society has impacted the Islamic world. Her wisdom, intelligence, and leadership skills continue to inspire and guide Muslims worldwide. Implications and relevance of Aisha's legacy for contemporary Muslims. Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, has left an indelible mark on Islamic history, and her legacy remains relevant for contemporary Muslims. Her role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history is particularly significant as she was pivotal in transmitting Islamic knowledge to future generations. The companions of the Prophet highly respected Aisha's teachings and scholarship, and scholars and jurists of her time sought her opinions on matters of Islamic law and jurisprudence. Aisha's influence on Islamic law and jurisprudence development cannot be overstated. Her meticulous attention to detail and ability to recall the Prophet's words and actions made her an invaluable resource for the early Muslim community. Scholars still study and debate her contributions to the development of Islamic law and jurisprudence. Aisha's relationship with the other wives of Prophet Muhammad is another aspect of her life that holds relevance for contemporary Muslims. Her relationship with the other wives was mutual respect and cooperation, and they worked together to support the Prophet and the early Muslim community. Their example serves as a model for contemporary Muslims on the importance of unity and cooperation in adversity. Aisha's participation in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period is also significant. She demonstrated bravery and leadership in these situations, and her example inspires Muslim women today. Her contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also noteworthy, as she was a skilled poet and her work has been preserved and studied by scholars. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are particularly relevant for contemporary Muslims, as they provide insight into the early days of Islam and the challenges the early Muslim community faced. Her leadership and political influence in early Islamic society are also noteworthy, as she played an active role in the community's affairs and was highly respected by her peers. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad is also significant, as she played a vital role in the early debates and discussions about the leadership of the Muslim community. Her spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition also hold relevance for contemporary Muslims, as they provide insight into the spiritual side of Islamic practice. Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism cannot be ignored. Her example of leadership, scholarship, and bravery inspires Muslim women today who are striving for equality and justice. In conclusion, Aisha's legacy holds immense relevance for contemporary Muslims, and her example is a source of inspiration and guidance for believers. Her contributions to Islamic scholarship, law, and jurisprudence, as well as her leadership and bravery, serve as a model for Muslims today who strive to uphold Islam's values and principles. Reflections on the importance of recognizing and honoring the contributions of women in Islamic history. Women have played a crucial role in Islamic history, and it is essential to recognize and honor their contributions to the development and growth of the faith. One such woman who left an indelible mark on Islamic history is Aisha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad. Aisha was not only known for her beauty and purity but also her role as a teacher and scholar in early Islamic history. She was a brilliant and gifted woman who deeply understood the Quran and Hadith, and she shared her knowledge with others, both men and women alike. Aisha's influence on Islamic law and jurisprudence development cannot be overstated. She was involved in legal discussions and debates, and the early Muslim community valued and respected her opinions. Her contributions to Islamic law and jurisprudence have had a lasting impact on the faith, and her legacy continues to be felt today. Despite being one of the wives of Prophet Muhammad, Aisha did not shy away from engaging with the other wives. She had a cordial relationship with them and treated them respectfully and kindly. Her relationship with the other wives of the Prophet serves as an example of how women can work together and support each other, even under challenging circumstances. Aisha was not just a teacher and scholar but also a warrior. She participated in battles and military expeditions during the early Islamic period and demonstrated her bravery and courage in the face of adversity. Her contributions to the early Islamic military campaigns serve as an inspiration for Muslim women around the world. Aisha's contributions to early Islamic literature and poetry are also significant. She was a prolific writer and poet. Her writings have been studied and admired for centuries. Her literary contributions have helped to shape the Islamic scholarly tradition and have inspired generations of Muslim writers. Aisha's life and experiences as a young bride and wife of Prophet Muhammad are a valuable lesson for young Muslim women today. She was a young bride and a strong and independent woman who played an active role in the early Muslim community. Her example shows that young women can be strong and independent while being faithful and devoted to their families and communities. Aisha's leadership and political influence in early Islamic society cannot be ignored. She played an active role in the political affairs of the early Muslim community and was respected and valued for her opinions and insights. Her leadership and political influence serve as a reminder that women can be influential leaders and contribute to improving their communities. Aisha's role in the succession of leadership after the death of Prophet Muhammad is also significant. Her support for her father-in-law, Abu Bakr, played a crucial role in his ascension to the caliphate, and her active involvement in the early Muslim community's political affairs helped ensure a smooth transition of power. Aisha's spiritual and mystical experiences in Islamic tradition are also noteworthy. She deeply connected with God and had many spiritual experiences recorded in Islamic literature. Her example serves as a reminder that women can have a profound spiritual relationship with God and play an active role in the spiritual life of their communities. Finally, Aisha's legacy and influence on modern Islamic feminism and women's rights activism should not be overlooked. Her example has inspired generations of Muslim women to fight for their rights and to demand equality and justice. Her legacy continues to be felt today, and her model serves as an inspiration for Muslim women around the world. In conclusion, recognizing and honoring the contributions of women in Islamic history, such as Aisha, is essential to understanding the richness and diversity of the Islamic tradition. Muslim women have played a crucial role in the development and growth of the faith, and their contributions should be celebrated and remembered. The end. Plain vanilla.